Because my last video was on texting, I feel like it's only right for this next video to be on this. It really is the counterpart to sitting around and texting all day. You know, if you do one on its own, that's cool and all, but if you do both of them at the exact same time, now that is the ultimate brain rotting experience. If you have seen someone who vapes before, you know just how important it is for them to get a little sucking cherry buzz going between each and every single text. What a lifestyle. And so naturally, I felt obliged to make a video on the other half of the ultimate wombo combo NPC pastime by making this next video on vaping.
Research is shedding light on the health risks of e-cigarettes. The American Heart Association finds vaping may have long-term impact on the user's heart and lungs, despite being marketed as an alternative to help you cut back on smoking.
Can you remember just about 10 years ago when your average vape was this big, bulky looking, tasteless robot cigarette for the nicotine addicts just trying to better their life one step at a time? Maybe because they've had enough, or maybe even because of a promise that they've made with their young daughter to give up smoking in hopes of pursuing a healthier lifestyle that might one day enable them to be grandparents to children of our very own. Yeah, well, that's not really what vaping's about anymore. At all. 10 years later and your average vapor isn't some father trying to do better and just trying to set a good example or some shit, but a Canada Goose with the easy rockin' 14-year-old or a weed addict who's ran out of, well, weed. Vaping today is not nearly what it used to be. It's not even really close, or really even trying to be. In fact, vaping today is pretty much in every single way the exact opposite of what it was. What was once a key tool in getting rid of nicotine addiction now is 14-year-old kids gasping for air after struggling to do 15 jumping jacks. And vaping is popular too, like really damn popular. It's turned into pretty much a staple of 21st century culture at this point. It's almost like everywhere you go smells like a weird mix of fruitcake and wine gums and bacon. Wait, what the fuck? And it's all the more prominent because the people who do vape a lot. Like all damn day. Of every damn day. No matter where you are, it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be some vapors huddled in the corner pretending that they're not trying to hotbox their jacket at their own nan's funeral. It can get so bad that some fellas get agitated and start freaking out whenever they don't have their vape on them, and so they hardly go anywhere without their colourful little cancer stick to suck on. It's really a religion for these fellas at that stage. I know smokers who carry a vape on them more than a judo's yarmulke, and when I said that you can smell it everywhere you go, I meant everywhere you go, because vaping is really the biggest social pastime that there is. Anywhere you go, people will be using their vape as an excuse to chill out and have a little chat with someone. Or maybe it's the other way around and people use chilling out as an excuse to vape. It's hard to really know at this point. Any place where even the slightest conversation might possibly take place has been transformed over the last 10 years or so into a chill, laid-back getaway for anyone to come blow off steam and smoke up. And I really do mean any place. For example, the school fucking bathroom. And you all know exactly what I'm talking about because the school bathrooms collectively of every single school on planet Earth and wherever else Lost Mary might possibly be selling their disposables have been changed forever because of vaping. The school bathrooms is no longer a nice place to watch a fight break out or even to have a well-deserved piss after a long day anymore. It's more like a cesspool of a whole lot of mist and vape talk.
Yeah man, so I just got that new ePod 34420.
No way man.
Wait, why did you get a new one?
Huh?
Well, your old one works perfectly fine, didn't it?
Yeah.
So why'd you get a new one?
More vape.
Dope.
But hey, at least schools probably save some money on air freshener now that the place just naturally seems to smell like a mix of berries and chemicals. And because vaping has become such a staple of dope shit, it was really only ever a matter of time before kids got involved. Before children started trying them out, which isn't great by any means, but I mean it's kids, what can you do? But then again, the kids that you do see smoking vapes just seem to get younger and younger by the year. It honestly did catch me a little bit by surprise the first time I saw a gangster ass toddler butt scooting around while puffing on a watermelon vape. With this societal trend, it would be pretty hard to act as though vape companies have absolutely no ulterior motives whatsoever. I mean, have you seen a vape? At this point, they're deliberately designed for children. It's crazy. All different kinds of flashy colors and flavors. To be honest, I couldn't even really imagine a grown-ass man sucking on one of these things. Just trying to better his life, getting rid of his nicotine addiction. And I haven't seen it either. At this point, it seems only natural that the one who would be puffing smoke out of one of these fun, flashy, gumdrop looking cancer sticks would be a child. Which sounds fucked, and I know that, but that's not me. That's the way these vapes are deliberately designed. They are designed to have little boys and little girls running around puffing donuts and shit. It's almost as though cigarette companies felt as though they were losing out on just too big of a portion of the potential market when children weren't smoking. So what really else is there to do except, well, make your cigarettes child friendly? And what better way is there to make cigarettes child friendly than to get rid of the can to make them watermelon flavor? You will rarely ever see one of those big robot cigarette vapes anymore. All the vapes you do see have been made kid friendly to some degree or another. And it's getting rarer by the day to find a vape that doesn't have a vaporized packet of Sour Patch Kids inside of it. I mean, fuck a Dodie. A kid'll go straight from a nip to one of these things nowadays. Vaping has gone just too far over the last 10 years. And this change is evident in every single thing that there is to do with a vape. Even the designs for these little cancer sticks are crazy now. There are so many different kinds of vapes. They're all just as stupid, don't get me wrong. But I have to admit, you have to give them some credit for the creativity. I mean, you got the classic one, the disposable one, the weed one, the DIY homemade looking contraption one, the iPhone which just so happens to have a vape attached to it one, the box which just so happens to have a vape attached to it one, the you know what, we don't really need to mention this one's purpose. And I know vapors who will mix and match and choose between different vapes depending on the different scenarios that they find themselves in throughout the day, just to really maximize that cancer dosage. They'll have their classic one for a daily driver, a disposable one to lose on a night out, the iPhone which just so happens to have a vape attached to it one to play Candy Crush on after using the weed one for a bit too long, this one for a you know what, we'll just not mention this one's purpose. It is stupidly easy to vape all day long. It can make even the most mundane of boring tasks that little bit better by having a blue raz buzz going at the same time. Anyone could waste hours of their day sitting around texting stupid bitches with the right amount of nicotine in their systems to make it interesting. And because it's what most of you boners do all day anyways, it's really no wonder why so many people just can't live without their vape. See, vapes are not even really that addictive. And still, it can get so bad in some cases that fellas will start throwing tantrums if they can't remember where they last saw their daily driver. To have it, just to hold it, can be a necessity to some vapors. Because at the end of the day, they're addicts and they can't live without it.
Yeah, so then I said to him, shut up, Joe, your brother is a cripple. Yeah, fuck Joe's crippled brother. Hold on, bro, where's my vape? I don't know. Did you take my vape? No, man, chill. Shut up, man, I know that you took my new vape. I know that you've been jealous ever since. There it is. My bad. Bro, that's a phone. What's up, Mom?
And I know that I'm talking about addiction right now as if addiction as a whole is stupid. But that's not true, and I think I should make that very clear. It's just that there's a big difference between someone who can't function without their vape and your everyday kind of drug addict. It's in no way addiction as a whole that's stupid. Addiction is very, very serious. It's vaping that's dumb. You see, a vape isn't nearly as hard as your typical addictive substance. Unlike pills, it's not just one quick swallow and it's over with. Instead, you'll be stuck sucking on that stick all day long, looking as though you might even have ulterior motives with all that sucking. No, vaping won't have you strolling down the streets of your city like a zombie looking for any sliver of the drug of your choice the way most drugs would. But you're hardly gonna argue that strolling down those exact same streets in a vape hoodie, blowing circles out of a little colourful tube all day is that much better. At the end of the day, what's so terrible about vapes is that, well, they're not even actually really addictive. The sensation's gone within a good half a minute, and you're not gonna feel it for the rest of the day. People who do vape don't vape because they had a nicotine addiction before they got onto vapes. They vape because they either like the taste or the aesthetic. But the desire for the taste can be solved by going out and buying yourself some fruit and then dousing all that fruit in bleach. And the desire for the aesthetic, come on now, of a vape. So sure, it's pretty obvious that vaping is not in any way the worst drug for you. But what is absolutely in every way undisputable is that vaping, well, it's just a whole lot gayer.